Alright, this video is in response to Voice of Moderation's Other Faiths video and the question he poses at the end. But before I get to that, I would like to say that in his or your, I don't know if I'm speaking to the ethereal or to him, but in his video, or one of his videos, he mentions that he thinks YouTube videos shouldn't be scripted, that you should speak from the heart. And I feel that sentiment, but I'm really not as much of a speaker as I am a writer, so I write from the heart. So this is scripted, but written kind of in one go through, and this is my response. Now, the question he poses at the end of the video is in regard to faith and religions, organized religions, and how come that which is made to heal, being the organized religions, is responsible for so much pain and suffering in the world. And my response is simply because we are shit. And I mean this in the most thought out and heartfelt way I could. From my comments on Discourse on his Why Abortion Shouldn't Be State Funded, you have probably gathered I am not into pushing my views on other people. My convictions are rock solid and they're mine. And I respect what other people believe and could give a fuck about changing their minds. And I'm sorry if that language offends you because it seems crass next to the language of his or your videos, but this is me speaking from the heart. That being said, I enjoy dialogue. Now, the paradoxical reality of religions is something I struggled with growing up a lot. Institutions of faith and well-intentioned living have been behind some of the most corrupted frameworks people could possibly view the world from. And those far from benevolent attitudes have been behind some of the most heartbreaking cases of human tragedy this world has yet to see. However, the problem is not in the religion or the teachings of any particular prophet or person. The problem lies with us. What works for one person may work for a few other people. It may work for a lot of other people. Or it may not. But it cannot be perpetuated or followed on a large scale throughout entire populations simply due to the corrosive nature of humans when we think as a collective. For one, for someone to adopt the beliefs another person took many years and experiences to cultivate and develop, they are inevitably not their own. And while such a thing may stem from noble intentions to live better, it is less than ideal. But far more inescapable than that is the fact that as a people we are ugly and have managed to corrupt and fuck up every well-intentioned ideology we've gotten our hands on. When viewed as a species, we're disgusting, murderous, irrational, and intolerant creatures. Animals trying to pretend to be anything but the tragedy of the human condition, in turn showing our brutal bestiality every chance we're offered. Still, however dark this may sound, I am not here to build a case proving the unredeemable qualities of human nature. We have much to be celebrated, just not as a collective, as individuals. Maybe I'm disenchanted. I don't know. But for a long time now, I have been a self-described misanthropist. Now, to Voice of Moderation, you seem very intelligent, so sorry to explain what you already know if you already know it. But misanthropy, that is, the affliction that plagues individuals like me, is characterized by a general hatred and disgust for all of humankind. That is not to say I hate people, or at least I do not hate individual people, for I do not hold people in the singular accountable for the deeds and actions of the species at large. Much to the opposite, I believe mankind's redemption is to be found in the individual. For when you engage someone on a one-on-one level and come to know them and love them for the precise things that set them apart from the rest of us, that is to know beauty. And that is where I find love for my fellow man or woman if you're a PC nerd. Having said that, when viewed as a collective and judged for the things we perpetually engage in and bring to this world, I find us to be a disgusting and destructive animal. And just like the populations of the world who seem to go to great lengths to make this abundantly clear to me, I know what it is to hate. And again, I'm sorry if that all seems cynical, but I am, unfortunately. Rational, compassionate, and as a result, cynical as hell. But I hope you understand I do not hate any one person. I just think when we get together as collective people and begin thinking from a collective mind state, we're worse than pack wolves. Worse because we're capable of higher thought, capable of rational thinking, and all the more brutal for it. We are sentient creatures capable of justifying terrible atrocities. We are conscious beings who need to pray to avoid our consciousness. We know how to hate. And yet every day the redeeming quality of human beings is to be found in the individual's ability to embody everything we collectively cannot.